Hello, welcome to one more edition of Love Talk. You're here with James Marquez
and Helena Marquez.
And today we're going to talk about dating. I mean, who doesn't like dating, right? Dating is that special time when you're getting to know someone, but sometimes we get caught up in the emotion of it all, and some people look forward to the dating period. Today there's so many different kinds of dating, right, Helena?
Mm-hmm.
You can find a date almost anywhere.
Yeah, you name it, online, at your local pub, like they say in England, down the pub, and so many other agencies, speed dating,
yeah, and
many things.
The question is,
through friends.
Yeah, the question is, do these forms of dating, speed dating, online dating, blind date, do they work? Today we have a couple here in the program who met on a speed date. Is it speed date? Speed dating?
Speed dating.
Yeah, they met in a speed dating event and they're married today. They're here to tell their story.
They look quite happy, huh?
They look very happy.
Yeah.
They look like they really get on. I'm sure they are very happy. They'll tell us their story in just a moment. People have been talking on Facebook about the different forms of dating. Can you read some comments, Helena?
Yes, there's some people, giving their opinion. One of them is, sorry, bear with me in a minute. It's Gemalian. She says like this: I think speed dating is fun, and you don't have to stick around for too long if the guy is not your cup of tea, like she says, which is great. I would probably never go on a blind date unless one of my really close friends set me up and knew the person extensively. She says like this, and was in disguise close by waiting for a signal to save me should it go wrong. Then she says, I personally think that meeting people through friends is best because the friend has inside info on their personality, and you are less at risk of a potential partner pretending to be something he is not. Also, if you are friends with my good friend, then chances are you will probably get on with me really well, as we tend to walk with those who are like-minded.
So she likes the idea of speed dating.
Yeah, but she prefers to meet people through friends because they know her, they know the other person, mutual friends.
Yeah. And
I quite agree with that as well.
You need to think like this. I mean, we are in the 21st century. Times are changing. There wasn't such a thing as internet dating or dating websites before. There were dating agencies before. But there are all these new ways of meeting people. And Helena, do you think they can work? Do you think they are positive?
It depends. It depends where you are going to meet the person. It depends. There are many factors that can influence, how it's going to go, or if it's going to go well for you or not. It depends. I believe that if you're going to a disco, a place full of people who are drinking, I mean, it might not be an ideal place for you to actually sit down and get to know someone. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah,
as we're going to talk about.
For example, myself, you and me, we met because we were introduced by mutual acquaintances, right?
That's right.
You were in one country, I was in another country, and someone thought, well, these two, they seem like they could get on.
Isn't it?
Well, and it worked.
Yeah.
So that was unconventional.
Yeah. But you see, not everyone is the same. Some people, they think like this. I've been on speed dating, I've been on, I've been online with these agencies, I've been, to friends gatherings, and I can't find anyone. Maybe it's going to be different with them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be different for you. You don't know.
Yeah. The thing you have to be careful with, of course, is that if a friend introduces you to someone, it has to be a public place. It has to be somewhere where you feel comfortable. If you are going to go on a blind date, it has to be set up by a reputable organization. All these things are important. I know, for example, of Christian organizations that set up speed dating events, and it actually works. Yeah,
because you need to think like this. People they have to look at the age group, where they come from. There are things that will help them get along with the person more. But on Facebook, 90% of people who commented, they say they prefer to meet people through friends. So that's what they think so far.
Yeah, and what we want to do through this program today is not to discard these ways of meeting people. We want you to understand that sometimes there is merit in most things. You just have to find the way that it works. So if it is blind dating, it could work. If it is, being introduced to by friends, could work. Like Gemma said, maybe even a blind date, setting a friend of yours setting you up with someone that he knows really well, that could work.
I tell you what really matters to me is that when you are getting to know the person, even if you're not sure if the person is the one for you, you are getting to know the person still. You're giving the person a chance and giving yourself a chance, that you take this time called dating for you to actually know the person really well before you commit and move on to the next level.
And listen, let's not kid ourselves. There is no such thing as internet dating or speed dating. That speed dating event is the introduction, all right? The dating comes afterwards. So when you go on a speed dating event, it's for you to talk to someone. That's not the day you date afterwards. So, same thing with a dating website. What you need to really be careful with is that there's not a problem in meeting people, right? Yeah. You can meet someone. It's what comes afterwards that really matters.
Yes. I remember when I met you, when I met my husband, 12 years ago, I knew I wanted to find someone, but I also knew I didn't want to be dating one more person just for the sake of dating because I was by myself. I thought to myself, let me give him a chance, because I didn't know him, and I don't know, the first impressions, I wasn't sure, but I thought, let me get to know this handsome man here. And it turned out really, really well.
But you see that the first impressions didn't really work, right?
Did they work? I think I've seen a picture. I saw a picture of him before we actually met.
Right.
When I met you personally, then I was like, wow, this is the one. But anyway, so I took time to get to know you. You did the same with me.
Yeah. I mean, look, I will be very honest with you. If you would say to me, what is the best way to meet someone? Of course, the best way to meet someone is for you to probably know this person already, a friend, a family friend, or someone who's around you that you've known for a while. But we can't say that if you go on a speed dating event that doesn't work, because it might, right? I wouldn't advise you. This is the thing. The question is not that you should discard these forms of dating. The question is, you need to be careful who is arranging this speed dating events, these dating websites. Be careful. It has to be something that agree with your core values, something that is reputable. And like I said, the dating the day you meet is not the dating, that comes after.
Yeah, there's two different things here. We're talking about two different things that need to work together at the end. First stage. Let's say I'm single. I'm looking for someone. What can you do? You need to socialize with the kind of people that you relate to. For example, that you feel comfortable with. Consequently, someone who is from your circle of friends will know someone who, that person will go nicely with so-and-so. That's the first, stage. But the dating period, which is when you decide, okay, let me get to know this person a bit more, that has to be taken a lot more seriously, because it's decision-making time.
And Helena, also, we're not saying to you to go and register with every dating website that you can find online. We're not even saying for you to go and register with any, right? We're not saying for you to go now to every speed date event that there is in your local area. And we're not saying for you to register with any. We're just saying that you have to be open-minded to meet people, again, this is very important, Helena, people who are of your same values and what you are about. The one thing with us is that we allowed people to introduce us to each other because we knew that we had the same ideas, more or less.
But if I was the kind of person who was like, oh no, I don't know this person, you need to give the person a chance. Sometimes even on speed dating or when you are being introduced to someone else, you judge the person first time, you know, like, oh, I didn't like the dress sense, or I didn't like, you know, I didn't like the hair. Give the person a chance, you know, maybe the person was nervous, as maybe you were.
Yeah.
We need to, you know.
And also, Helena, some people are looking for Denzel Washington, right? I don't know if Denzel Washington is your perfect man. I have just used him as an example. Some people are looking for someone perfect. And sometimes the person may not have the hair you're looking for, but maybe he has everything else you're looking for. So compromise on the hair, because other things are more important, right? Of course.
You can always change the hair afterwards, but you can't really change what's inside.
Sometimes you can't change the hair.
Yeah, because I'm trying to change his hair for a long time, you know, the partition there, but he won't have it. I still love him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to remind our viewers at home that we've got a website that you can go and visit. You can visit. That's lovetalkshow.tv. You can take part on the discussions. You can check out my fashion tips for you who, you know, if you're going on a date, you would like to know what's the best kind of thing you should wear for you to wear. Also, we have something called the Love Lab. It's something where you can email us a 2-minute video with a question, and my husband and I will answer your question, and we will, you know, publish a little video as an answer to you. You can email us your video on lovelab@lovetalkshow.tv. Got it right, yeah? Okay, so
that's right. And by the way, let's do something different today. Chris and Linzi will be here with us after the break to talk about how they met through a speed dating event. But they will also tell us tips. If you're going on a date, you know, someone arranged for you to sit down with someone and have a chat, they're going to give you tips on what to say, how to go about it. I mean, they went through it and they met there and it worked.
Yeah, it worked for them, absolutely.
It worked for them. So perhaps what they're going to say to you is going to work for you as well. But I just want to remind you, at the end of the program, we're going to tell you how you can use this for your advantage, to make it work for you, okay? So don't go anywhere. We're going to go into a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Chris and Linzi about their experience. Stay with us. Hello and welcome back to Love Talk, and today we're talking about dating, different ways of dating, how you can meet perhaps the right person for you. And as we promised at the first part of this program, we have here Chris and Linzi with us. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, good evening.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
You guys met in a different way, we can say, right? In a different way of dating. How can you tell us about that day?
We met speed dating.
Right.
It's about 5 years ago now.
Okay.
And it was on the eve of St. Valentine's. And there were 14 guys, 14 girls.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And we were actually the last two to have the date, 3-minute date. And something clicked.
Yeah, definitely,
didn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, for myself, I think I was telling you this before the program, I would have found that moment, if it was speed dating for me, it would be very awkward. But you guys actually, you hit it off right from the beginning.
Yep.
Why do you think that was? Was it?
I think...
maybe the 14 people before.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, because there were some odd characters as well. But, so we'd warmed up by the time we'd got to one another, and I think we shared a sense of humour as well. And there was just something there that I felt very comfortable when I was talking to Chris as well.
Before we even started, when I first saw Linzi come into the venue, I just had a
She lightened up the room.
Yeah, it was like a spotlight down to say that she's the one. So it was nice.
you just brushed past the first people and waited for her to come through.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people, Helena, they associate, for example, speed dating or other forms of meeting people sometimes in a negative way. But I mean, you guys are married now?
Yes.
That's right.
You met 5 years ago, so it surely works. I mean,
it does. Yeah.
What should people really take to that and embrace that as a new way of meeting people?
Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
A lot of people still sort of go down the pub or meet people at work, and they sort of there's almost like something attached to this speed dating or online dating, that it's, oh, you're only, if you're doing that, you're desperate, or there must be something wrong with you. But doing that, you know that the people that are there are there to meet.
Be in relationships,
yeah,
aren't they? Yeah, they're meant to meet people. So.
And particularly when it's speed dating or some other activity where it's, if it's in a controlled environment and it's arranged and set up properly, then it's much more enjoyable as well, and it's safer, especially for females who are a little bit unsure about, you know, what you're getting into. If it's a safe, controlled environment.
And I think it's very important what you said, Helena. A lot of people think that if they are set up by someone or on a speed dating event or whatever it is, they think that means that they're desperate.
You know, I hear many women say this. Actually, I spoke to one yesterday who thinks exactly like this. No, he has to come to me. You know, the person, the Mr. Right has to approach me and ask me out. You know, this perfect thing, that this wrong idea that you have. And she's been single for many, many years, many years. And I've told her, listen, you have to give people a chance, try new things.
Yes.
You know, like she said, in a safe environment.
So rather than it seeming desperate, you were taking like an active approach to...
That's it.
Absolutely.
It's making opportunities for yourself, making things happen, rather than sitting at home and dwelling on, oh, I'm single, oh, I'm fed up. Actually go out and do something, even if it's out of your comfort zone or familiarity.
Because you're going to meet anyone who's sitting at home watching TV.
Yeah,
you're just increasing the chances of finding that the person who's right for you much quicker.
And
that's
you know,
the
I
great
was
thing about it.
we were saying at the beginning of the program that people shouldn't just go, okay, I'm going to go on every single speed date event that there is, because it has to be done properly, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
yeah.
That's the main
Make sure
thing.
they're properly set up, and it's a proper company, and and the one we did was, you could tell,
very good,
you know, we were questioned before, and
Well, it did help, right?
It worked, yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. So, I mean, times have changed. We now have the added benefit of the internet. Although it's used for many wrong things, it can be used for many right things, right?
Yeah.
And you met through speed dating. Would you advise someone to, for example, to try online dating, to try to meet someone through Facebook, these different kind of ways?
it certainly does work, but you've just got to remember in the back of your mind that that's a less controlled environment, and you are going to get some profiles on there that might not be true or fake. So you've just got to think in the back of your mind, and
when you've got someone in front of you, you know, you can get a gauge what that person's about more than just reading a profile which someone's made up. You know, and that's the difference.
Fake pictures and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's the, you know, it's become the norm. People saying, "Oh, I'm actually 5'9", 5'11", actually, when they're actually quite short, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no way of knowing who the person really is.
That's right.
No.
And that's why I think something like speed dating or these speed activity afternoons and things where you're actually getting together, meeting people in an environment.
But tell me, what else did you try before you tried speed dating? I mean, the question is for both of you, not only for. What else did you try?
I was going to go onto Match.com, and my profile never went live because I met Linzi. So so I never really tried the online dating.
I'm asking this because, as I said in the beginning, many people think that the right person is just gonna show up like this. Oh, hello, I'm not, knocking at your door. I'm here. They don't socialize. They don't try anything. They're not open to, getting to know people, giving people a chance. So this is an example. You've tried other things, but this one worked for you.
And I think also because on our sort of first official date, so we went salsa dancing.
Yeah.
So if you go to something where there's going to be a crowd of people as well, and people enjoy doing the same activities as you, whether it's dancing or sport, golf or whatever, you're going to meet someone who's also got that same sort of interest as well.
Yeah. How was, because usually when you start a relationship, you already know the person because they were friends or they were a work colleague, but you guys were getting to know each other right from scratch.
Absolutely.
How was that period after you met each other in the speed dating event?
It was fantastic. I mean, I was at the time I was living 200 miles away from Linzi, so I was travelling every week to go salsa dancing. And
that was some dancing. That was some dancing and a half.
Yeah, racing up the motorway every week to see her. Yeah, so it's good, really cool. Yeah.
So she was really special for you to drive
Absolutely,
200 miles. I'm sure she was, because you guys are together now. But I mean, did you feel like it was exciting finding out new things about this person you didn't really know?
It was interesting, just finding out about Chris's background and asking, you know, what he's been doing, what he's doing now, and what his sort of visions are for the future and things. And
very important.
It's exciting to find out about someone else.
Something really, really cool we're going to do here today is that Chris and Linzi are going to give us some tips. I mean, they're going to give you some tips because we're fine. Thank you. They're going to give you some tips on dating. And actually, you guys run, how would you describe your business?
Well, we've just set up this year a partnership where we're helping people, coaching them with their minds and mindset.
Right.
And so they can do the things and achieve things that they want to do.
So like a life coaching?
Life coaching, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, based on that, they're going to give us some advice. I mean, like I said, give you some advice. We're fine. Thank you very much. But something we want to point out, Lena, this is very important because, as we said, look, we don't want you to, you know, now go and be part of every speed dating event, every blind date that people try to set you up on, every website that exists. You need to understand that you need to find not only an environment that is safe, but if someone is going to introduce you to someone, or an organization will introduce you to someone, it has to be someone who will have a common mind frame, a common core set of beliefs.
For example, if you are this kind of person who is very family orientated, you like to be home, you like to, you know, weekends you like to watch a movie, stay home, and you hate drinking and all this kind of noise, but then you go, you know, to a place like a rave or a disco. Okay, and then you go and see if I find Mr. Right there. It's not going to work.
It's not really going to work, right?
So you need to think. You need to.
Yeah, it has to be the right environment, like Lizzie was saying. It has to be, if someone will introduce you to someone, it has to be someone who has the same sort of beliefs as well. This is very important. Remember, don't rush into anything, but it's important.
And give people a chance.
Yes.
Give people a chance. I gave him a chance.
Thank you.
I did.
So, let's go. Chris, Chris and Linzi, someone goes on a date, on a speed date, right? I think you could talk about, Linzi, what they should do, and you, Chris, if you don't mind, maybe you could talk about what people shouldn't do on a date. Do you want to start, Chris?
Well, they shouldn't be dishonest and try and pretend to be someone they're not. Right. Because you're just hiding to nothing. No one wants to have a relationship and spend several dates and then find out that person isn't true to what they presented themselves as. So most importantly, they're honest and they're genuine people.
Right. So be yourself.
Be yourself, absolutely, yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure, that's all right.
Good.
Yeah.
Linzi, what about you? Now, what should they do? You're on a date, you want to cause a good first impression. What should people do?
I think first of all, if someone's feeling a little unsure, unconfident, they could perhaps take on skills, resources of someone they admire, look up to, just before they go on their date, get their posture right, get that confidence, and just, you know, go out there and enjoy it, and just have a laugh, and don't go with this, oh, you know, if I come away and I haven't met someone, and get all miserable about it. Just enjoy it, meeting new people, because you never know what opportunities might come from the people that you're meeting.
So if you're sitting across the table from someone, don't twiddle your thumbs and look down, right?
No.
Not a good idea.
Posture, sit up, you know, look them in the eye. Eye contact is very important. There's nothing worse than speaking to someone
and the person is not looking at you.
It's just that's a no-no. You really must look people in the eye, but not again. Don't stare.
Wide-eyed. And I think last thing, sometimes people try to sell themselves way too much, like try to exaggerate achievements they've had. What do you think about that?
Okay, someone who's doing that, you're just gonna, whoa, you know, you're a big head. It's just calm it down. Just be a bit mysterious as well. Don't give everything away in those, you know, first few minutes of meeting. Allow it to carry on, and so it opens up more opportunities for conversations.
Now, what's your tip?
My tip?
Yeah,
I'll give it in just a second. I just want to say, we really wanted to bring Chris and Linzi into the program today, because we want people through this program to benefit from knowing what to do to get their love life right. You managed to do that. You've been married now. You've been together for 5 years, right? 5 years?
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years. Now, Married for how long?
Almost a year.
Almost a year. And you started a business together.
Yep.
Things are going great. so it can work.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to really thank you for being here, because I'm sure you've helped a lot of people.
Good.
Thank you
very much.
And now let's go for my tip. Len, do you want to give your tip first, or shall I go first?
Well, okay. My tip is very simple. When you meet someone, that's my personal tip, okay? Please don't judge me. For example, when I met James, we went out, we had dinner and everything, and he tried to kiss me like, on the third day? Right. This was, for me, I kept him waiting a little bit longer to see if he was serious, about. I wanted to get him to know him better. So it could be kissing, it could be anything else. That's my opinion. I think that if you keep some, like you said, be mysterious. More mysterious and keep the person waiting a little bit, get to know the person before, you get too involved, because then it's going to be difficult for you to come out of that relationship.
Now, here's my advice. Be open-minded, but at the same time, don't say yes to everything, right? You need to be very careful in what you choose to be part of, how you choose to meet someone. Like Chris and Linzi said, if someone invites you to be part of a specific event and you don't know who's organizing the event, you've never heard of that organization, then it's best you stay away. If it's something that you know could work, then you should do two things. First of all, try it with an open mind, right? But secondly, and this is very important, be ready to compromise. Don't look for the perfect person from head to toe, because that doesn't exist. Everyone is flawed. Everyone has little things they need to change. And perhaps if the person is not blonde, but light brown haired, you can live with that, right? And there's always hair dye. Is it true or not?
Everything else fails.
Yes, look, and the thing is, if the person is right for you and you're willing to work with the person, remember that the first date is just the first date. And what comes afterwards is what's really important. Okay?
Absolutely.
Chris and Linzi, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for coming.
And we've reached the end of our program. Don't forget to visit our Facebook site, Love Talk Show. And we'll be back with you again next time. Have a wonderful night.